Enter the world of old Hollywood's most glamorous honeymoons. Join us as we uncover the rare, romantic moments of vintage celebrity couples. It's a journey you won't want to miss. Number 65. 1981, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. As our journey through vintage Hollywood honeymoons kicks off, we step into the world of royalty with Prince Charles and Princess Diana. After their widely televised royal wedding, the couple embarked on a 14-day Mediterranean cruise, creating memories fit for a prince and princess. Number 64. Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Their honeymoon reached its enchanting finale at Balmoral Castle in Scotland. Nestled by the River Dee, they shared intimate moments in the heart of the Scottish countryside. Number 63. Prince Charles and Princess Diana. All good honeymoons must eventually come to an end. The royal newlyweds bid farewell to their dreamy escape as they travel back to England from Egypt, cherishing the memories of their extraordinary honeymoon. Number 62. 1976. Elizabeth Taylor and John Warner. Following her 7th marriage, Elizabeth Taylor and her new husband, John Warner, embarked on a unique honeymoon experience. They visited Jerusalem during their honeymoon. This choice reflected the depth of their connection as they explored a city steeped in history and culture. Number 61. 1972. Sammy Davis Jr. and Altavis Gore. The laughter of love filled the air as Sammy Davis Jr. and Altavis Gore, his new wife, embarked on their honeymoon in England. The Rat Pack member cracked up with his beloved during their trip. Here, they arrive at the Queen Elizabeth II Cruise Terminal in Southampton. Number 60. 1972. Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood. A decade after their divorce, Hollywood stars Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood rekindled their romance and remarried in 1972. The couple's love story was a testament to second chances, and they embarked on their second honeymoon. Here, they share a moment of happiness aboard the SS France, sailing towards a new beginning together. Number 59. 1971. Mick and Bianca Jagger. Mick and Bianca Jagger, one of the more fashionable celebrity couples of the 70s, chose Venice as their honeymoon destination. The city of romance provided the perfect backdrop for their love story. Nothing says romantic quite like a gondola ride down the Grand Canal, and the Jaggers' honeymoon was a blend of glamour and Italian charm. Number 58. Mick and Bianca Jagger. Continuing their romantic adventure in Venice, Mick and Bianca explored the classic beauty of the city. A gondola ride down the Grand Canal offered them moments of intimacy, framed by the city's iconic architecture.
I can't do that, Liz. Well, I'll have to go get the rest. Will you do that, Bianca? The only thing is fair that they go away.
Number 57. 1970. Liza Minnelli and Jack Haley Jr. Liza Minnelli and Jack Haley Jr. embarked on their honeymoon in London, a city rich in history and culture. Their union was a nod to the golden age of Hollywood, as both their mothers and fathers starred together decades earlier in The Wizard of Oz. Number 56. 1970. Rocio Dorcal and Antonio Jr. Morales Barreto. Our journey through vintage Hollywood honeymoons takes us to the romantic streets of Paris. Singers Rocio Dorcal and Antonio Jr. Morales Barreto posed in front of the iconic Arc de Triomphe during their Parisian honeymoon. Their love story was set against the backdrop of the City of Love, creating unforgettable memories in one of the world's most romantic destinations. Number 55. 1969. John Lennon and Yoko Ono. John Lennon and Yoko Ono embarked on a famously unconventional honeymoon. While the world was buzzing with the turmoil of the Vietnam War, the couple chose to make a powerful statement. They hosted a bed-in protest at their Amsterdam hotel, using their honeymoon as a platform to advocate for peace and love. Number 54. John Lennon and Yoko Ono. But their honeymoon wasn't just about activism. The couple also took time to explore the romantic city of Paris. For 3 days, they immersed themselves in the beauty and culture of the French capital. Number 53. 1969. Roger Moore and Louisa Mattioli. Roger Moore and Louisa Mattioli enjoyed a romantic beachside honeymoon in Cannes, France. After their wedding at Caxton Hall in Westminster, they retreated to the stunning French Riviera. The picturesque coastline and azure waters provided the perfect backdrop for their newlywed bliss. Number 52. Roger Moore and Louisa Mattioli. As they departed from their honeymoon destination, the newlyweds were spotted at the airport in Nice, France. Number 51. 1967. Elvis and Priscilla Presley. The king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, married Priscilla in Las Vegas, and their honeymoon took them to the iconic city of Palm Springs. Frank Sinatra, a close friend of Elvis, lent the newlyweds his private plane during their wedding weekend. Number 50. Elvis and Priscilla Presley. Their honeymoon hideaway in Palm Springs became legendary. The iconic Palm Springs home was later nicknamed the Honeymoon Hideaway. This retreat was not just a home, it was a symbol of their love story.
8 years ago, when he was a soldier in Germany, he met Priscilla Beaulieu, daughter of a U.S. lieutenant colonel who was also serving out there.
Number 49. 1967. Liza Minnelli and Peter Allen. Liza Minnelli, the renowned actress and singer, embarked on her honeymoon with musician Peter Allen. Following their New York City wedding, the couple chose sunny Florida as their destination for their romantic getaway. Number 48. 1966. George Harrison and Pattie Boyd. After their intimate 1966 wedding ceremony at a registry office in Surrey, England, George Harrison, the Beatle, and his model wife, Pattie Boyd, jetted off to Barbados for their honeymoon. The tranquil Caribbean island provided a peaceful escape for the newlyweds, a paradise where they could savor their love in privacy. Number 47. 1965. Patrick Macnee and Catherine Woodville. The actor Patrick Macnee and actress Catherine Woodville chose an equestrian adventure for their honeymoon. Following their London wedding, they rode horses on the picturesque island of Jerba in Tunisia. Number 46. 1960. Susumu Hari and Sachiko Hidari. The director Susumu Hari and his new wife Sachiko Hidari celebrated their marriage with a trip to London. Their destination was not just any trip. It coincided with the London Film Festival. Number 45. 1960. Princess Margaret and Anthony Armstrong Jones. Royal love stories often capture the world's imagination, and Princess Margaret's honeymoon was no exception. After their grand wedding, the royal couple embarked on a 6-week cruise around the Caribbean aboard the royal yacht Britannia. Number 44. 1960. Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee. Hollywood power couple Bobby Darin and Sandra Dee chose to return to familiar territory for their honeymoon. They honeymooned in Hollywood, a place that had witnessed their rise to stardom. Here, they're pictured flying out of New Jersey, where their wedding was held. Number 48. 1960. Marilyn Monroe and Arthur Miller. Miller, the actress's third and final husband, and Marilyn made a special stop in England during their honeymoon. Here, they met with the legendary Sir Laurence Olivier and his wife, Vivian Leigh, creating a memorable moment during their travels. Number 42. Marilyn Monroe and Arthur Miller. Marilyn and Arthur Miller, one of the most iconic couples of their time, embarked on an English honeymoon. Just before boarding the plane, the newlyweds shared a passionate kiss at New York's Idlewild Airport, now known as John F. Kennedy International Airport.
You're going to get the signal there? We're going to get the signal.
And what are you going to do? I just
Number 41. 1959. Brigitte Bardot and Jacques Charrier. The stunning French actress Brigitte Bardot and her actor husband, Jacques Charrier, chose to keep their honeymoon close to home. They vacationed in the picturesque Saint-Tropez, France. Number 40. 1959. Elizabeth Taylor and Eddie Fisher. Elizabeth Taylor and Eddie Fisher, two A-list celebrities of their era, embarked on a lavish Mediterranean cruise for their honeymoon. Aboard the luxury yacht All'Inicio, they set sail towards Italy, creating unforgettable memories as they explored the beauty of the Mediterranean. Number 39. Elizabeth Taylor and Eddie Fisher. While on their Mediterranean cruise, Elizabeth Taylor and Eddie Fisher took a leisurely stroll through the charming streets of Genoa, Italy. Number 38. Elizabeth Taylor and Eddie Fisher. In a moment of elegance, Elizabeth Taylor donned a beautiful white dress with a black print at London's Festival Hall. The couple was attending a concert by Texas pianist Van Cliburn, a close friend of Fisher's. Number 37. 1958. Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood. Actress Natalie Wood received a loving gift from her new husband Robert Wagner as they arrived at New York's Penn Station. This marked the beginning of their honeymoon adventure after their Scottsdale, Arizona wedding. Number 36. 1957. Tony Wright and Janet Monroe. The famous couple, Tony Wright and Janet Monroe, embarked on a romantic journey to the heart of Paris. Here they are seen admiring the picturesque Seine River. Paris, known as the City of Love, provided the perfect backdrop for their honeymoon. Number 35. 1957. Elizabeth Taylor and Mike Todd. Elizabeth Taylor's third marriage, this time to film producer Mike Todd, was marked by happiness. For their honeymoon, the couple jetted off to the tropical paradise of Acapulco, Mexico. Elizabeth Taylor sported a classic black swimsuit, radiating elegance even on the sun-soaked beaches of Mexico. Number 34. Elizabeth Taylor and Mike Todd. This honeymoon was a celebration of their love, and Elizabeth Taylor considered it one of her happiest marriages. Number 33. 1957. Audrey Hepburn and Mel Ferrer. Audrey Hepburn and Mel Ferrer embarked on a second honeymoon, choosing to explore the charming beauty of Switzerland. Aboard the SS Queen Mary, they ventured through the picturesque landscapes of the Swiss Alps.
This is the first one I've come to in more than 2 years.
I'm so glad you did come.
Number 32. 1956. Arlene Dahl and Fernando Lamas. 2 years after their wedding in 1954, Arlene Dahl and Fernando Lamas finally had the chance to go on their honeymoon. In this snapshot, they pose outside the Church of Trinita dei Monti in Rome, Italy. Number 31. 1956. Princess Grace and Prince Rainier III. Princess Grace, formerly known as Hollywood actress Grace Kelly, and Prince Rainier III embarked on a 7-week cruise around the Mediterranean following their royal wedding in Monaco. Number 30. Princess Grace and Prince Rainier III. While in Palma de Mallorca, Spain, the royal couple shared a romantic dance. Their love story, a union of Hollywood glamour and royal prestige, captivated the world. Their honeymoon was a time of joy and intimacy, and their dance in Spain was a moment to remember. Number 29. 1955. Princess Ira Virginia von Furstenberg and Prince Alfonso Hohenlohe-Langenburg. The royal couple basked in the sun on the shores of Lake Garda in northern Italy. It perfectly captures the essence of their love and their honeymoon destination's beauty. Number 28. 1955. Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds headed to the Sunshine State of Florida after their 1955 nuptials at a Catskill Mountains resort. Number 27. 1955. Vic Damone and Pierre Angeli. Newlyweds Vic Damone and Pierre Angeli didn't have much time to relax on their honeymoon in Las Vegas. Damone had a singing gig booked at a resort hotel during their stay. Number 26. 1954. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio ventured all the way to Japan for their honeymoon. In this snapshot, the iconic actress and the baseball legend are seen visiting a string of beached sailboats. Number 25. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio. Marilyn and Joe's whirlwind romance took them from the bustling streets of San Francisco City Hall, where they had a surprise ceremony, to the open road for their honeymoon. In this snapshot, the iconic stars are seen leaving for their honeymoon by car. Number 24. 1954. Audrey Hepburn and Mel Ferrer. Audrey Hepburn celebrated her first marriage with a trip to Rome, a city known for its timeless romance. Here, she and Mel stand in the garden of the Villa Rolli in Albano, Italy. Number 23. 1953. Ginger Rogers and Jacques Bergerac. Ginger Rogers and Jacques Bergerac chose the famous La Quinta Resort in Palm Springs as their honeymoon destination. In this snapshot, the beloved actress and her husband take a leisurely stroll outside their room, surrounded by the desert's natural beauty. Number 22. 1952. Ronald and Nancy Reagan. Long before Reagan became president of the United States, he and Nancy embarked on a happy honeymoon in Phoenix, Arizona. They stayed at the iconic Biltmore Hotel, where their smiles captured the joy of their newlywed life. Number 21. 1952. Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Wilding. Cameras captured Elizabeth Taylor and Michael Wilding as they left the Berkeley Hotel in London, en route to continue their honeymoon in the romantic city of Paris. Number 20. 1951. Glenn Davis and Terry Moore. Football player Glenn Davis and actress Terry Moore embarked on a romantic getaway to Mexico City for their honeymoon. In this photo, the couple shares a smile before beginning their journey. Number 19. 1951. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh. The famous Hollywood couple, Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh, chose the Big Apple as their honeymoon destination. Arriving at their hotel suite at the famous Waldorf Astoria, their love story unfolded against the backdrop of New York City. Number 18. 1951. Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner. Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner, two of Hollywood's biggest stars, shared a private moment while strolling along a Miami beach hand in hand. Number 17. 1950. Diana Barrymore and Robert Wilcox. Following their nuptials, actors Diana Barrymore and Robert Wilcox traveled to the sunny shores of Miami Beach. They stayed at the Sherry Frontenac Hotel, where they enjoyed the beauty of the beach and the warmth of each other's company. Number 16. 1950. Clark Gable and Sylvia Ashley. The happy couple, Clark Gable and Sylvia Ashley, shared a serene moment by the water. Number 15. Clark Gable and Sylvia Ashley. Gable and Ashley embarked on a tropical honeymoon adventure. After their wedding on a ranch near Solvang, California, they headed to the stunning shores of Hawaii. The actor and his model wife, with their tropical shirts and leis, celebrated their love amidst the beauty of the Hawaiian Islands.
California, and Hollywood's king of movie stars Clark Gable faces the news cameras with his bride, formerly Sylvia Lady Stanley of Alderley.
Number 14. 1950. Joan Crawford and Alfred Steele. The iconic Joan Crawford and her businessman husband, Alfred Steele, embarked on their European honeymoon aboard the SS United States. While on the ship, they enjoyed a celebratory cake. Number 13. Joan Crawford and Alfred Steele. Their honeymoon took them to the picturesque island of Capri, Italy. Against the backdrop of the Mediterranean sun, Joan Crawford looked glamorous in a tunic and sandals. Number 12. 1950. Elizabeth Taylor and Conrad Nicholson Nicky Hilton Jr. At just 18 years old, Elizabeth Taylor celebrated her wedding to hotel heir Nicky Hilton Jr. Their marriage was hailed as the Hollywood social event of the year. For their honeymoon, they chose the enchanting city of London. Number 11. 1949. Tyrone Power and Linda Christian. After saying their vows in the Santa Francesca Romana Church in Rome, actors Tyrone Power and Linda Christian embarked on an Italian honeymoon. Their journey took them to the stunning Italian Alps in Sardinia. Number 10. 1948. Lana Turner and Henry J. Bob Topping Jr. After Lana Turner's fourth wedding, this time to socialite Henry J. Bob Topping Jr., the newlyweds touched down in England for their honeymoon. Number 9. 1947. William Clay Ford Sr. and Martha Firestone Ford. The heir to the automobile empire, William Clay Ford Sr., and the tire heiress, Martha Firestone Ford, found their bliss amidst the waves at Cambridge beaches in Bermuda. Number 8. 1947. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. Before Queen Elizabeth took the throne, she married the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. Their honeymoon was a serene escape to the Broadlands estate, an English country house where they walked through the leaves. Number 7. 1945. Bette Davis and William Sherry. Academy Award-winning actress Bette Davis and her artist husband William Sherry embarked on a memorable honeymoon. They first made a stop in Mexico City for a little rest and relaxation before heading to the White Mountains in New Hampshire. Number 6. 1940. Ronald Reagan and Jane Wyman. Decades before becoming President of the United States, Ronald Reagan was an actor married to future Academy Award winner Jane Wyman. In this snapshot, they are seen playfully engaged in a game of ping pong at the El Mirador Hotel in Palm Springs, California.
Hello, Claire.
Damn, this is a surprise.
Oh, Claire, you look wonderful.
Thank you.
Number 5. 1934. Francis D. and Joel McCrea. Movie stars Francis D. and Joel McCrea found relaxation on a Santa Monica beach just a few months after their October 1933 nuptials. Number 4. 1934. Cary Grant and Virginia Sherrill. American screen star Cary Grant and actress Virginia Sherrill embarked on their honeymoon adventure to Rome. With suitcase in hand, they arrived in the Eternal City, marking the beginning of their romantic journey. They had tied the knot on February 9 in London. Number 3. 1923. The Duke and Duchess of York. In 1923, Prince Albert and Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, later known as King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, embarked on a regal honeymoon. They chose an estate in Great Bookham, England as their romantic getaway. Number 2. 1922. Lord and Lady Louis Mountbatten. Lord Mountbatten, Prince Philip's uncle, and his bride Edwina embarked on an ocean liner called Majestic for their honeymoon voyage. Their destination was New York, where they would create lasting memories as newlyweds. Number 1. 1920. Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks. Two of the most talked-about stars of the 20s, Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks, embarked on a European honeymoon by ship. In this vintage snapshot, they are seen docked in London. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through vintage Hollywood's most romantic honeymoons. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories like this one.